Final piece before we go into sub-op-ed. If you wish to know what's going on about the impeachment of Virginia, or the latest version of, well, you're all going to die. In China and certain viruses, essentially you're missing the point. Acquiring details of and on those three is a waste of time. The first is a fake distraction program that has zero chance of coming to fruition. The second was a potential false flag event that failed again spectacularly. And the third is their now regular version of let's create fear and corral people into using up their expensive and deadly vaccines, as we've just heard. And that is about as much as attention I wish to pay any of those events. They're all designed to distract you from the more real and now tangible events that are going on behind the scenes and in the public. You know, all it does is it gives the treasonous portal people the chance to blab bollocks all day, every day. And heaven forbid any one of them thinks for themselves. Like bots, they're incapable. Sub-op-ed. I warned that the alt media would go into meltdown as far back as December 2018. Randy and I warned of it earlier. And one of the comments I said in the show is they will expose themselves and each other. And this is further proof. Well, first we're going to give some background to it. This person said Kim, the trustee, was a nobody. She was not the trustee. Denied that the trust existed. Then admitted Kim was the trustee, but then balanced it with Kim has stolen all the trust funds and is a fraud and a criminal. This person also questioned Kim's love life and personality, describing her as cold, all whilst working for Langley too. Kim reached out twice to work with this person, and this person decided at regular intervals she would rather lie and trash Kim than work together. So that is the background. Now listen to this short piece taken from an email. Welcome to the world of Anna von Reitz. Quote, as I have recently discovered, Kim and I are cousins, members of the same family. Oh dear. I suppose the only way I can explain this is in terms of genetic inheritance, leading to proclivities and abilities to perceive things that otherwise cannot be explained. We have never known each other in this life, and have had no reason to suspect such a connection. She went on, and here's the key line. As you have observed, both Kim and I have blocked the accounts, coming from two completely different standpoints. Oops. And there you have it. Anna von Reitz and the group she is connected to has been blocking the accounts. To turn around and state Kim is blocking them as well is childlike behaviour at best. But she did it as well. That would be a no. Why would Kim block the accounts if the only way that she gets paid or the projects get started, which Kim has committed to, is through releasing the accounts, not blocking them. And quite frankly, that is a ridiculous claim to make, but also indicative. She went on, and no, we aren't that opposed in what we want to have happen here, but that is hard to accomplish when we can't seem to sit down and talk as equals. Kim did sit down with her twice. She chose to try and cheat the trust by requesting funding to then send that funding money to the Vatican and then onto fake Chinese elders by requesting 1/3 of America's in-ground resources. She went on. She seems to think I'm some sort of low-life lackey, and for my part, no. She said, actually, Kim doesn't think that. Anna has done that all by herself. By repeatedly demeaning and spreading known lies she knows all too well about Kim at every opportunity. So no, Kim doesn't think you're a low-life lackey. You act that way. Big difference. She then goes on, talks about working together, and then throws little hammers in, or so she thinks, like this. Her, Kim, status based on being Marduk's favourite is no big recommendation. Really, Anna? This is the same Marduk that tried to kill Kim in the Kremlin. Oops. Some favourite that. Yet again making up barbs to throw at her and try and discredit her. Well, to me, Anna, that looks all very lame when the real truth comes forward, as it has done repeatedly. So you can make out you want to work with her, and we should come together, yet still continue to throw out lies. And I'll ask the question, how is that bringing people together, Anna? She goes on. So we both have to overcome those antipathies and associated assumptions. Kim worked alongside M, for those who don't know, Marduk, with no idea who or what he was. Anna works directly for Langley 2 and AAIA and still does, knowingly. But things are not working out too well for you or your paymasters, are they? Hence this letter. She went on. If you thought she hadn't put her foot in her mouth, she's enough. No. Besides removing the blocks, there is the issue of having authority to open them. I, Anna, know the bank trustee heir who has all the information and all the powers of attorney. Wrong. The trustee Kim has the power to open them just like the predecessor did. It was only one then and only one now. And your trusty heir, you claimed, was the Dark Prince. Well, he no longer exists. So how's that going to work now, Anna? She went on. He is willing to work with me specifically to get the job done from both sides of the table. So then all we have to do is come to a common understanding and stop blocking each other. As I have made abundantly clear, I don't like banking. To me, it's a child's game gone horribly awry. The fastest, cleanest and least painful route out of this quagmire of deceit is what is most appealing to me, and I'm sure to everyone involved. End of quote. If people have any doubts the trust is not making progress, this letter confirms it in its full form. An admittance of they have failed to stop Kim being who she is, and also an admittance that Anna and her Langley 2 counterparts have been blocking the funds making it to the accounts. And as usual, we get the predictable deflection narratives thrown in. It's called passing the buck. It and they failed. So if we are to be believing her that she is related to Kim in some way, where is the full apology for the plethora of nasty barbs she has thrown consistently at Kim for the last 2 years, who is now allegedly one of her own family members? Here are the facts. Kim is the trustee, the only main trustee, just like her predecessor. Yes, he had to use Anna's terms as it is indicative of how he thought of all of them. Lackeys. He used lackeys as the other trustees. Why? To fulfill his desire to get all the assets quicker. Nothing more, nothing less. That's why you had all these family trustees, Mandelas, Gaddafis and all kinds of other, Marcos, etc. Rothschilds. Kim is not the owner of the trust or the assets. We want to make that quite clear. She was employed to be the guardian of the trust. After the people that Anna works with and others looted it all to fulfill your own families and groups as people of special importance above everybody else. All of you failed to guard the treasures, which is why Kim's there now. And under Kim and her team, guardianship will stop the previous set of shenanigans and will not be repeated. The assets will be shared as equally as possible, with the desire to lift everyone on this planet towards a better and more prosperous life, not the select few living at everyone's expense, of which Anna von Reitz and her family were prevalent in, the Habsburgs. Now, Kim, for her part, is willing to speak to anyone who flies straight. Now, to date, not one of them have approached her via phone or in-person meetings were prepared to fly straight. None of them, including Ms. von Reitz. And all they want to do is control Kim and also the trust. But none of you have the right to control anyone. You can't even control yourselves. Where were you cowards when M was running it? Why didn't you control him? No, he controlled you all like little puppets, giving you worthless pieces of paper to enhance your shallow lives, whilst he stole this planet's assets. And you lot gave it all to him. Fact. And as for controlling Kim, To use a popular Kim term, I promise you, that's not happening. Fly straight, the lot of you, and let's all move forward together.